Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we will be presenting a topic on management skills, a survey on students' management skills during university life. My group consists of Aida, Izzuddin, Auni, and myself, Putri, will discuss this topic today. So, two matters will be discussed, which are financial and time management. Okay, management. Management is doing things right, while leadership is doing the right things. These two things are very important and are very much related to each other. Management will create leadership. We will see it today and discuss it with our first presenter. So let's move on.
Management skill is a very important component among students. But before that, we have to know the definition of management skill. Skill itself differs from inherent personality traits, motivates, roles, and function. A management skills involves a sequential pattern of behaviors performed towards achieving their desired outcomes. Therefore, students must put commitment towards management skills to balance their life as a student and normal human being. According to this statement, Radhika Kapoor in 2019 indicates that the development of management skills enables the students to carry out the functions of planning, organizing, directing, leading, coordinating, and controlling in an effective manner. Besides that, management skills play a vital role in affecting students' performance lives and academic and achievements. Thus, management ability, especially time and financial management skills, are very important in every student to be mastered to achieve their personal and professional goals. Regarding the statement above, we know that most of the students are unable to manage their time and financial to develop management skills well among them, which can lead to growth, effectiveness, and development of students. So, the main objective of this study is to assess time and financial management skills among students. The second objective is to obtain the level of management skills among university students. This information could help in identifying areas of strength and weakness of students on their time and financial management skills during university life. Thank you.
Now we go on to the literature review. Firstly, let's see the meaning of the management skills. Why is it so important for students? So, based on Oxford Learner Dictionary in 2020, management is particular skills or act of dealing successfully with people and situations. Means that it's a skill or an ability that involves professionalism. Basically, it is like an individual can balance between succeeding specific tasks while dealing with crises when it occurs. It is important for students because it is not only to perfect their lifestyle, it is not important in perfecting their own lifestyle as students, but also in professional businesses in the future. At the same time, this will help students in their future career when it comes to dealing with other professionals, because management skill will ensure a more efficient work practice. And then, what are the elements needed in creating a perfect management skills? There are 5 elements, which are communication skill, critical thinking, teamwork value, ethics and professional moral, and lastly is leadership, made by a research study in 2019. Communication is to avoid misunderstanding or frustration in ensuring the smooth flow of activities. And the next is critical thinking. It helps in solving support, the time and resources issues. So this is where the problem solving skills come in handy. And then teamwork is a preparation in immersing the students in their future career life after graduated. And then ethics and professional moral is to enhance positive inner self. Lastly is leadership skills, which is the most important key element needed, because the other 4 key elements that I've mentioned earlier are what shaping the leadership skill in an individual. Question is it hard for students to achieve this set of skills? Unfortunately, the reality is it is hard because there are few challenges. And in a study made in 2014 said mostly the challenges comes from assignment burdens and a more critically challenging style of learning. So assignment burdens, they say, inhibits their own leisure time to do their own revision. And for the more complex style of learning, they say they are required to think scholarly and to write academically. So this particular set of skills require certain times, sometimes a lot of time to practice and to be learned. And then in regards of financial matter, they are lacking in financial education. Made by a study based on a study in 2001, and a study in 2010 finally relate this lacking of financial education with savings behavior. Students that lack in financial education some oftenly do not engage in savings behavior. So why do students fail to manage their time and finance, and how do they fail them? Based on the research study made by Freda Eisen in 1996, they are lacking in commitment to study. These students with less interest in studying often lack in time management skill because they spend most of their time on other useless things. And these students often have poor time management skills. And in regards of financial matters, students with a late exposure to consumerism do not engage in savings behavior. This is one interesting study made by M. Fazli Sabri and Maurice McDonald in 2010. Not only that, these students spend more on shopping and not on educational purposes, especially students with great influence from socialization agents, means that they are from a wealthy family. So we now know that students with great influence in socialization agent, aka wealthy students, do not really engage in managing their own financial because they have the influence. And also students with late exposure to consumerism do not engage in savings behavior also. Okay, lastly, what can we do? I suggest that to teach children about consumerism in their early childhood. Because now we know, based on the research study that I've mentioned earlier, that late exposure to consumerism is no good. So at least with this early exposure, they can have a better management skills for their finance in the future, especially during their higher education experience. And then next is educational institutes can provide programs to educate their students in regards of time management, because nowadays students have to be more aware about their own planning and to achieve a better learning experience. And then I suggest also that this study about management skills have to focus more on the how, not on the why, because there are a lot of studies that focus on the factors already. And I think we should focus more on how to solve this kind of problems. So I think that's all from me. I move and pass to the next.
There are 3 components in this methodology. The first one is respondents, the second one is instrumentation, and the third one is data analysis. Hence, we will go to the first part, which is respondent. In this study, we use stratified random sampling method, which involved students in bachelor and diploma studies from all universities in Malaysia. The research instrument used for this study is by using a self-completion questionnaire, and it was distributed among the respondents. There are three sections in this questionnaire, which is Section A, Section B, and Section C. For Section A, demographic data, which comprises the gender and the education level of the respondents. Next, for Section B, which include 5 questions regarding respondent knowledge on their time management skills. And lastly, for Section C, which includes also 5 questions about students' skills on their financial in their university life. Here we come to the last part in this methodology, which is data analysis. In this research, the data was collected by using Google Form. The results were then analyzed after the data was collected.
Hi, I am Izudin. I will explain to you about our result and discussion. So don't worry, I will make it simple for you to understand well about our findings. So in our results, I find such an interesting one because I found that most of the students which represent the majority percentage, which 55% for time management and 65% for financial management, where they managed to do it well. While from the problems that they face in terms of time and financial management, they also encounter the same percentage. So let's we check out what are the source and also factors and other things that contribute to these results. As we mentioned on our main objectives, the first one is we want to access time and financial management skills among university students. So these things will enhance and knowledge concerning the commitments to it, because lots of studies have done in this such research area, but there are still some of the students or people cannot handle it well. I mean the time and also financial management. So regarding to our research, I found that the students have their own variety of ability level in managing their finance and time management. For example, there are students, they get their income from their own parents' allowance, while some of them, they tend to spend their savings more than what they earn. And there are also few students, they like to do the part-time job, so they can obtain their own income to make their finance stable. The next is, I would like to tell you or share you about how the working exposure influence the time and financial management. So, when we expose ourselves in the workplace, such like what I mentioned before about the students who do the part-time job, so they will feel more disciplined or more manageable in making sure that their time and also financial management becomes more stable and become improved. So they will feel the struggle, they will feel the determination to make themselves grow adult and increase their management skills. Next, I want to say that environment is also one of the big factor that influence the time and financial management. Such as from the results, I found that there are some students who are easily distracted when they are with family during the finishing their work or any task given by the lecturers. So they tend to be finishing all of their tasks alone. And while some of them, they they doesn't care about what happened around them, so they just keep performing their task to be finished, and at the same time they have to take their break, such as 5 to 10 minutes break. And what I found interesting is There are also the few students who can do multitasking, where they can adapt with any situation, but they can still finish their assignment, tasks, and so on. So I have found some interesting reference. First is a book written by Geni Dodaro, 2011. His book with the title of Financial Literacy, the Federal. So, in his book, he emphasized about the phrase, the financial literacy, where this phrase gives the definition of making quick judgment and actions for the better future use of whether it is for money and also time. So this phrase can be related or can be applied in these two things, which are time and also financial management. And the second one is, I found a study by Shaira Jihan, 2016. She said that student soft skill may be improved through industrial training. So like what I have mentioned before about the results, there are some students manage to improve their finance by doing part-time job. So they are actually expose themselves in the working place and they become more professional in making time and also finance management become such an easy thing for them. And last but not least, I want to mention that even though students have their own ways to manage their finance and time, but they need consultation, they need the guidelines from the true source and also from the professional. So this is what I call the responsibility of the University of College Management itself. So they can provide some consultation or seminar about how to manage the time and finance well. So the student will not run from their own path and keep on the track. So when the management of university and campus provide the consultation for students, so they are be like our savior. They like, you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. The time and money can be done, oh yeah. I think that's all from me. I hope you enjoy.
As for the conclusion, we can conclude that the development of management skills among students is regarded as a crucial in facilitating the addition of academic learning and enabling them to develop their competency and abilities, the achievement in any event of their life. Within the course time, as a student get enrolled in secondary school, senior secondary school, and higher educational institutions, they are able to sharpen these management skills and make effective use of them to enrich their academic outcomes and career goals. But on the other hand, as they progress in their career path, they are able to initiate awareness in terms limitations and put into practices the measure to bring about improvement. There are a few limitations that can be listed while doing this survey. Firstly, the normative data. Because of the nature of the questionnaire design, respondents did not respond to all items. And secondly, criticism related and construct validity. The main purpose of these skills constructed in the study is to assist in identifying students who are at a lower and higher level of management skills. Despite the limitations, there are some recommendations that highlighted in this study. First and foremost, future research studies should address unanswered aspects of this current research problem. Furthermore, future studies can also address the effect of specific events, the emergence of a new theory or evidence, or another recent phenomenon on the study.